All right, everyone, welcome back into the Sunday NBA DFS live stream here for you guys. We have a pretty fun 5-game slate, as Benjamin's talking about here. I wish I knew who was playing for Phoenix. And yeah, that's going to be the difficult part about this slate, just because it is the later game as well for the DraftKings main slate. And then we also do have the FanDuel main slate has the Orlando and Clippers game. So we'll be talking about that at the end of the video after we give you guys our first look build for DraftKings. But what are your initial thoughts here for this slate here, Jayhawk?
Yeah, man, fun slate here. Lots to talk about. We were talking pre-stream. Kawhi Leonard is kind of the big news on the FanDuel slate, but we do have a bunch of news with Phoenix as well. So excited to break this one down, Eric.
Did you, in regards to the Clippers, I forget what I exactly saw, but was there any comments about like Kawhi potentially not wanting to play that much, like wanting the Clippers to lose? I don't know, because like I forget what it was exactly. I thought I heard something about like Kawhi made a comment about it kind of being a lost season for the Clippers. And did you hear that at all, or am I just making that up?
No, I believe it. I didn't hear it like directly through Twitter or anything, but I could definitely believe that for sure. So potentially could sit tonight, I think, for sure.
That's what I was trying to get at there, which would be interesting in general. Like if he's one of those players where if he's a little bit banged up and in a lost season, he would just sit. But there's actually a lot of injury news here. Thankfully, we've gotten most of it, and we can start off here with this Dallas game. There's a lot of players that were listed as. Is this not on the main slate?
I think that's on the earliest. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's just
sorry. Thank goodness. Okay. But we'll jump into Charlotte. So kind of same thing here between Charlotte and Washington. Actually, Washington, we still have some players that are questionable as well. So we'll jump into that in just a second. But Charlotte here, guys, Bridges is out, Diabate's out, and then Kobe White is still out as well. So we are gaining a decent amount of ownership here with Grant Williams. And he's been someone that's been pretty good lately. He's popping up as a great DK value. What are you doing with him tonight?
Yeah, I think just starting with Grant Williams here, the matchup is pretty solid, and he's been pretty consistent in terms of hitting value. So I do like him a good chunk here for value. Did you have like a max amount you wanted to get to Grant Williams here?
Well, the issue that I have with him is like it's Grant Williams. It's just like I don't need like I would say I don't want to be overweight on him. I'd be comfortable being at 46%, but he's not someone I'm like desperately trying to be overweight on, because I do think on the flip side of this game, I think we're getting some interesting plays from Washington that could end up being leverage plays.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think coming in right around the field seems like the smart play here.
Mm-hmm. And then we also are getting Colin Knippel to a decent amount of ownership there, 25%. Brendan Miller getting some ownership as well. I like both of those plays somewhat here. At the same time, they're at kind of weird price tags where I didn't necessarily get to them, at least in my early builds. What are your thoughts on those two?
Yeah, I like them both a decent chunk. I think I actually prefer LaMelo out of the bunch here for the ownership. Very good matchup for LaMelo. So kind of looking at all three of them, I kind of prefer LaMelo. I would say if I'm picking between the two, I probably would be Colin here at 25%.
That's fair. I think that's fair. I'm just kind of with the field here with all these plays basically, but Ryan Kalkbrenner, I don't really love him, although in my initial builds, I actually had him pretty overweight on the field, and I don't know how I feel about that. He is popping up as a pretty good value. I think he's actually a little bit more in play on DraftKings just because you can do multiple center plays there, and on FanDuel, he's not that much cheaper, but what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think he's solid. I was kind of looking at running them together. I was going to bounce that question back to you here. I think if I'm running one lineup, it would be one of the two between Williams and Chalkburner, as you call him, Eric.
Yes, exactly. Yes. But, so don't play him on FanDuel, guys.
How would you feel? Like, what are your thoughts there with playing both those guys together?
I'm okay with playing both of them together. Then I just wouldn't begin to as much of Con or Brandon Miller or Ball for that matter. Like I probably want to get a max of 3 Charlotte players, and if it's 2 of them, in a build, I'd be fine with it. It's not like I'm setting a rule to get to a specific amount of Charlotte players, but I'd be fine with those 2 in a build. It's not something I do by hand, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that 3 max rule is a very good rule for Charlotte tonight as well. So I'm with you.
And pretty awesome stuff here from HB Cards, breaking the news that we need here from Washington. So the data won't be updated just yet with that news, but this is kind of huge. So Champagne's out, and then we got George in. So with that, I actually think Anthony Gill becomes one of the better plays on this slate. But also, we got to talk about Washington here because they had a decent amount of minutes go to Williams in the last game, and he's went off 2 out of the last 3 games, just the last 2 games. Then you also had Cooper be, pretty solid overall as well. The issue that we're having with Washington in general is that they are spreading out the minutes a bunch. And then you also had another player. I don't know if he's going to be with the team today, which is also kind of annoying with Washington. But just in general, is there anyone that stands out for you with Washington with that news or just in general for today?
Yeah, so big news with Vukovic there. I'm with you. I think Anthony Gill should pick up the minutes there. Should be a pretty solid value play. I do want to touch on Alondes. I think pronounce it right, Alonde.
Yeah.
Alonde Williams. I think he looks okay here. I do prefer the Charlotte value there for looking at the game here, but fine mixing him in for value here. Did you have a take here on Alondes Williams?
Yeah, I actually really like him a decent amount here tonight. I'm perfectly fine chasing that upside. Obviously went for a crazy amount in the last game. If he's going to give us 28 minutes like he's done the last couple of games, I'm happy to chase that at 4K, especially especially with the Champagne news being out.
Yeah.
Like, I know he doesn't play the same position, but I do think that's like just going to lead to his points being a little bit higher. And I'm actually interested. Did I miss some news on Richmond here? Yeah. Okay. So his 10-day contract expired. That happened. That's interesting because I thought he could be someone we could get to. So if he's not there, I think that actually helps Williams and even Cooper a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think just targeting these guys that the Wizards don't really care about too much seem like probably the correct play here. So I'm with you. Williams, Cooper, I like a lot in tournaments here.
And that's just the annoying part about this late season. Like I initially really liked Richmond, kind of assuming that he would be playing in this game, and it's just kind of annoying, but does make those other two a little bit more appealing. Any love for then like Watkins? He's someone that I think he was like a active DNP 2 games ago, and then ended up playing last game. I think if he plays, I think I shouldn't say that. If he gets minutes, I think he will get a significant amount of minutes. Now, he might be a little too priced up and a little bit too risky then, but any love for him at all?
Yeah, that's a good point there. I don't know if I love it. Like, I'd rather get to Sharif here. But if you want to take like a super deep stab in tournaments, I don't think it's the craziest click there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this is news. So yeah, they end up signing Leaky Black instead, which again, that's just kind of the annoying part about the late season. Like Richmond just had 2 good games for them, and nope, we're moving on. But I'm actually fine in general setting a rule to get to like maybe 2 players in this game because Charlotte gets a good matchup, but also Washington. I think there is a decent amount of good value here, and it'll be interesting to see how the ownership updates here because I think Gill is definitely one of my favorite plays. I don't know. Who do you prefer more at the price tag, Gill or Chalkbrenner?
Ooh, that's going to be way closer now. I'd probably say Chalkbrenner still, but we'll have to wait and see what the model thinks here.
Yeah, I think that could end up being closer. Let's jump on in then to the next game here. Do Boston versus the Lakers. And I will say, I don't love much in this game. Both teams are healthy, although it is a decent game total. What's it at right now? 231. Very close game as well. What are you looking at here? Anyone that stands out to you at all?
Yeah, so I'm kind of just you're good. Kind of just with the field here. Jaylen Brown, I think, is fine as a spend up. I currently have like right around the field, so it's mainly just Jaylen. I'll mention Pritchard in tournaments. Like the price point is up, but seems like a good spot for him to make some threes here. So I don't hate mixing in Pritchard. Outside of that, not much I love here. How about you, Eric?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, actually. I think that's spot on. I will say I did, in a lot of my hand builds today, ended up with a lot of Jaylen Brown just because I had the salary left over and I didn't necessarily love the small forward position. So I'm a little bit over the weight on the field hand build wise. I think I'm pretty even weight with the generated lineup. So It's just weird there. Like I'm perfectly fine doing that. He's just not like a safe pay up, if that makes sense. But that's just the slate that we have. On the flip side of this, though, in terms of like pay ups, I'm happy to pay up for Luka. I'm actually surprised that the field's not getting there. Am I wrong there, or what are your thoughts here with Luka?
Yeah, so I think it's a very interesting spot here for Luca because I don't know. I think the matchup's just okay. 10% owned.
Yeah.
I do like the ownership here, so I'm fine getting there. I don't know if I'll go super overweight, but it's still Luca, decent matchup. So I think I'm okay with it. Do you like anyone else here from the Lakers outside of him?
No, not at all. Actually, I'm like happy to pay it for Luka, just chasing his ceiling, and then everyone else. I mean, I guess if Luka's only 10%, the logic would be that probably should get to a little bit of Reeves or James like as a pivot there, because if he's going to be that low owned, it's not like it's a low game total like that. Logically speaking, then James or Reeves would also then up being pretty good leverage plays.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Reeves would probably be my second favorite guy here, but no one else I really love getting to.
Yeah, I don't think we have to force it though.
Nah.
Still, like regardless.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we'll jump on into the next game. We got Philly versus Minnesota. And I already, before the live stream, I was trying to figure out how to say Jones' name, and I already forgot how to say it with the accent to it. So whatever. He's chalk. He's 24% owned. Do you remember? I was practicing it. Do you remember how I said it? I already forgot.
Did we say Baron J? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah, yes, that's very close. Yeah, so Bear J, yeah, whatever. Um, but anyways, he's pretty chalky, 24% owned. He's min price, should not be min price. Not a foolproof play by any means, but he's projected to get 20 or so minutes, 19 minutes here. And he's someone, when he has gotten the minutes, has been pretty productive. I mean, there's a great chance that he does end up 7xing, potentially does more than that tonight. So what are you doing with him?
Yeah, I really like him here, Eric. Hoping he does start here. Even if he doesn't, I think he should get good minutes off the bench. So love him on DK at 3K. And then I did want to hear your takes here on Nas Reed and Anthony Edwards. No Rudy Gobert tonight. So what are you doing with the rest of the team here?
So it was actually interesting looking at who like benefits the most with Rudy Gobert off the court. It was actually Anthony Edwards as well, just like compared to like price tag and whatnot. He's the one that kind of benefits the most in regards to like the starters. Obviously, Jones going to get a decent amount of run here. Nas Reed's fine, but he averages like 3 more points per 36. His fantasy points go up by about 3.5 more per 36 as well. So I was shocked by that. And so with that, I think he's actually my I don't want to say favorite pay up play, but he kind of is. Like it, I love Luke. I shouldn't say I love Luka. I like paying up for Luka. I like getting unique there. But I think Edwards is kind of the sneaky good play, really on both sides. I know he's priced up a lot on FanDuel, but again, I kind of mentioned I don't love the small forward position today. I'm fine kind of getting to there as a contrarian play.
I love it, Eric. I think it's a great matchup too. Max is on a back-to-back on the other side, so I think Ant looks fantastic. Nas Reed, so I think he's super interesting. I think he's also questionable. Is he not, Eric?
He is now questionable, yeah. So we got Nas Reed, yeah, questionable. So if it's weird because like if he sits, then Jones becomes even better, and then like Randall probably just gets a little bit more run. McDaniels becomes a little bit more appealing.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll have to monitor that. I think he probably just plays here, but 65% if he does play here. How do you feel about getting overweight or underweight here?
So
Tough question.
it is like I feel like I'm fine with it. Like 65%, it does feel like a lot. He's just too cheap. Like he is going to hit value. Will he be in the GPP win lineup? Potentially not. I mean, there is an outcome where he just gets 35 DFS points and maybe, that's not enough. But I do think he's pretty safe to get around that point total. And the data is saying that as well. Like he's good value, decent OF index play as well.
Yeah, I think I'm probably just going to try to get at least the field here, maybe a little bit over, just because no Gobert here, good matchup. So
yeah. Would you think like AO would be anyone, Desuma there? Would he be anyone that would be a better play if Reed were to sit? I know, again, they don't play the exact same positions, but you shift McDaniels up a little bit, which would lead to him potentially getting more run, or even like Bones Highland maybe getting a little bit more run.
yeah, I think both those guys should get definitely minutes uptick here. I think Ao, I think he looks fine now. I'd definitely be more interested without Nas. So I'm with you. I like Ao in tournaments.
Hopefully we honestly get that news before we end the live stream. Are you in the Discord tonight, or do you know who is?
Yeah, I think I'm going back to back today.
Okay. So if not, if we don't get in the live stream, hopefully you get that during the Discord there. And just call it, guys. Link to join the Occupy Fantasy and the Discord is in the description of this channel. So if you guys have never signed up, you guys can do that, and you guys will get access to that Discord that leads up until lineup log with any slate breaking news. And with that, let's jump on into Philly. So Philly, we at least have the news that we want here on the other side of this game. Embiid out, Paul George is out, and I'll say it again. I said it yesterday. I don't get why Vegas and the projections don't like Adam Bona. I still like him. I feel like he's still a little bit too cheap. I don't think we have to get to him, honestly, with Gill and Joan now looking like pretty good plays. But other than him, or do you have any thoughts on him in general?
Yeah, Drummond, I do want to mention, like, Drummond was in foul trouble last night. Adam Bona, in his own right, had 5 fouls as well.
Yeah.
So they were both struggling with foul trouble. I think Bona's a fine pivot man. Like, we have a bunch of great center plays today. So I don't hate getting off some Drummond. So, yeah, I think Drummond's okay. Like, 29% seems a little bit high, but he is a good producer. So I understand it.
Yeah, so that's a good point. I remember like playing preseason a little bit, and I think Bona had like 8 fouls in in one of those preseason games. That's a good call out there. Is this a spot where like Kelly Oubre is much more in play now though with Embiid being out, or is it just kind of mixing and matching some of the other plays? Obviously, Maxey looks much more appealing today now with Embiid being out as well.
Yeah, I think both Oubre and Edgecombe look solid. Like, I like them both as pivots to Maxey in tournament. So in terms of Maxey, like, I think he's fine. I do worry about the back-to-back here. He shot very bad last game, but I don't know. I think we both kind of prefer Ants on the other side of the ball as well.
This is actually kind of a good point. Reed getting downgraded throughout the day with Embiid being out. That probably does lead to him more likely to sit there. So that's a good call.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone else here? Did you like Quinn Grimes or Barlow at all?
Those are my prototypical shoulder shrug plays, honestly. So,
Agreed.
Yeah. I literally have a lineup where I ended it with Grimes just in that exact scenario earlier today, where she's like, all right, whatever. I'm fine with it. And Kelly Oubre is kind of that for me as well. Like, I'm a little bit happier to get to Kelly Oubre, but I also I'm not trying to go out of my way to target him like specifically, but he is a player that with Embiid being out, I'm a little bit more actively targeting, but not going crazy with him.
Yep, right there with you.
All right, so we'll jump on into New York versus Chicago. Another game with a 10-point spread here. Decent game total, though, 234. We'll start with New York. I really like Towns, and I really like that you can play him in power forward on FanDuel as well. He's the most appealing New York Knick for me, and the field also agrees. And then we have Jalen Brunson, OG, Josh Hart, Bridges, all getting a decent amount of ownership, as well as Jose Alvarado getting a decent amount of ownership as well. What are your thoughts here with the Knicks?
Yeah, Eric, right on the same page here. No Mitchell Robinson tonight for New York, also on a back-to-back. So I think Cat looks amazing both sides. Love getting to him. So love Cat. And then kind of wanted to look at guys like OG, Bridges, and Nobi. I think they're all fine tournament plays. And then in terms of Brunson, I'm kind of lower on him with having a bunch of Cats. So what are your thoughts there at the rest of New York?
Yeah, just to go in on Brunson a little bit more, like for me, now with Embiid being out, I like Maxey a little bit more. And again, I like into Luka more, and I like Edwards a decent amount. And then you got Williams for Washington. So I'm not really getting to much of Brunson. And I don't even know if I'm at 14%, which could end up being wrong, but that's kind of it. I don't mind Alvarado. He's someone where hand builds, didn't get any of them today. And then I'm looking at some of the generated builds I did before this, and I'm getting like 40% of him, which is interesting. That's just how the lineups worked out. So definitely weird there, the discrepancies, but he is a very good value, and he does open up a lot there.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's super cheap. Model likes him as well, and we're both lower on Brunson, so I think Alvarado makes sense there as the pivot.
Yeah, this is typically one of those spots where I kind of using Jordan Poole as an example from yesterday. I didn't really like it. Chuck talked me into it, thankfully. But the data really liked him, and there's been a bunch of other values like that throughout the year where it's like, I don't necessarily love it, but the data is telling us to do it, so just roll with it, and it typically works out. So I can back that. We'll jump on into Chicago here. Let me look at the injury report again. So I think Richards is still listed as questionable. Patrick Williams probable. Jaden Ivey's out, and then Simons is out as well. So with those two guards being out, does that bring in play anyone here for Chicago for you guard wise?
Yeah, I wish I could say like with certainty it does, but it just kind of all these guys seem correctly owned. Coro, Trey Jones, Giddy. I don't know. I don't think any of these guys stick out to me. Molitos was the only guy I was getting to here. 6,300, 10% owned. He had a very good game the last night out. But what are your thoughts? Or do you like anyone in particular?
No, just with the minutes. Like Okoro is a little in play, but I also think we could find his production elsewhere at the same price tag. Sure, he's cheap ownership wise, 7%, and just cheap overall. I just don't think we need to go there tonight. I don't think we need to get cute and go with like Rob Dillingham, although he could end up playing 20 minutes instead and really crushing. I don't think that's worth it tonight. Like I think the best outcome is he scores like 20 DFS points, and even if he does, I don't think that'd be enough to be in like a GPP winning lineup.
Yeah, no, it's just they still have a bunch of guards even with those guys out, so it's kind of a deeper rotation here.
I will say though, if Richards is out here, I do like Gorson much more and Jalen Smith even more. But we would have to get that news with Richards sitting.
Yeah, I love Yabu, Eric. 1% owned if Richards sits. I wouldn't hate getting a little bit of exposure there.
Yeah, especially on FanDuel too, with the power forward eligibility and 5% there, a little bit cheaper. That's interesting just in general. Like he could get there and like he's popping up as a very good FanDuel. That's shocking to me actually.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if Cat Towns, goes to work on a Jalen Smith, it could be a Yabu game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's jump on into this Portland versus Phoenix game. So yeah, kind of the headache spot currently. I don't think we've gotten any more news right now, so it's important. We need to know whether or not Jalen Green and Grayson Allen play. They're both questionable. The tough part about yesterday is the game went to OT. Now, Grayson Allen didn't play all that many minutes in that game. Like, I shouldn't say that. He did, but he didn't play extended minutes in that game. And then Jalen Green, he's been banged up a lot this year. And this is really kind of the difference maker on this slate because if one or both of those two plays end up sitting, that's opening up a bunch of value for us. And if they both end up playing, they're both pretty appealing as well. So what are you doing here with Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix, a super interesting team here, like you mentioned, Eric. I do want to start with Gillespie, the chalk here, both sides, 45%. I think I'm fine just coming in right around the field. I don't have like a super strong take here. You mentioned Jalen Green. I think he's kind of the pivotal point. If he misses, I think Gillespie looks even better. I think guys like Grayson, I think even Bouye down here could get some more minutes. So big news there with Jalen. I think his news is very important here.
Do you think Colin Gillespie's ownership is like that high because he's just kind of a safe click right now? And if Green is active, you could just go to. I think Green's a better play. Yeah. And so, like, is it just like you could get to him instead? Like, if Green actually ends up being active, or is it just people actually like Gillespie much more than Jalen Green?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think a lot of people expect Green to miss here, so I think it's both. People like Gillespie, and it's also maybe a limited Green where he misses.
Yeah, that does make Boya much more appealing there if he ends up sitting because they kind of have to get him some run there. So. Oh man, I don't like that. I don't like having the late 3.2 value because, I mean, it's a game where he's gonna have to get minutes, and I think the game would end up being closer to a blowout. I would imagine the point spread would adjust a little bit more, and I think he's someone that could still get run in a blowout. So I don't like this spot. I hope we get this news before lock. Pretty much is my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm with you. Did want to hear one more thought from you. Grayson Allen, pretty chalky on FanDuel. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, he's priced up a bit on DraftKings, obviously. On FanDuel, I would say he's under-owned if he actually ends up being active in this game. He's someone where I think it should be at least 50%, honestly. He just feels like a very safe play, and then especially if Jalen Green were to sit, just the usage goes up. He's a very safe producer then at that point. I would be fine being over. Like, it's risky though. If he sits, like, obviously there's not a good pivot. Yeah, it's tough. I really like him regardless, but there's not good pivots. I mean, maybe there is for Portland. We'll jump into that in just a second, but I guess Drew Holiday probably a decent pivot, but it's tough. It just is.
Yeah, that's a good point with like pivoting. There's not a lot of pivots. I think I'd be fine coming maybe slightly overweight. Nothing crazy though with like limited pivots there.
And then before we jump into Portland, let's just jump into some questions here. Bona get more run on a back and a back to back. Potentially, that's not a bad call. And Broom is out as well for Philly. He's someone that could have got some run who also has this foul trouble. Maybe Barlow just gets a little bit more run instead. But yeah, it's a good thought process there. I'll let you take this question. Jaylen Brown and DiVincenzo or Ant-Man and Oubre?
I'm going to go with the second one, Eric. Did you have a different take there?
No, I think the second one pretty clearly, actually. Maybe if Reed sits, though, I guess DiVincenzo could be a little bit more appealing.
Yeah, I think DiVincenzo would look better with Reed out as well. Yeah.
And then just calling this out. Yeah, so Boya is already appealing to me. Data doesn't necessarily love it. And you don't really have to get there with all the other value that we have. But yeah, again, if Green or Grayson Allen sits, he becomes a little bit more appealing.
Yeah. One more thing, Eric. I told you this person, but Jalen Green, 25 shot attempts for Phoenix. That's going to open up a lot of usage there.
Exactly. Well, that's why I'm like, I kind of want, I don't know, it's weird because he could be active and then just play 20 minutes, just like they try to play safe with him too. So yeah. It's risky either way.
I agree. Let's move forward. Sorry, I kept on.
No. That's a good call out there. Yeah, we'll jump into Portland here. So yeah, like, if you're playing on DraftKings, I guess you wouldn't. I was going to say, if you're playing on DraftKings, you could pivot to Drew Holiday in the guard spot, but no, like Grayson Allen is a FanDuel play. I'm just trying to see, are there any direct pivots here? Not really price tag wise. I mean, Jeremy Grant, which in itself, he's someone that would become a better play if Denny Avdia were to sit, but Denny Avdia is currently questionable as well. So that's another wrinkle here, but that makes it more tough. So what are you doing here with Portland?
Yeah, I think Portland's kind of a tougher team overall. I wanted to get more here with how much Phoenix we're likely going to get. But yeah, outside of Drew Holiday, just not much that really sticks out here. Donovan Clingan, like in tournaments, I think you could maybe sprinkle in at center. It's mainly just Drew Holiday, man, for me for the most part.
Yeah, I'm a little overweight on Clingan right now, but not much. Yeah. But I think Drew Holiday is kind of just safe. Like tonight, especially on DraftKings, like, and then if Avdia were to sit, like, he just becomes a better option. And so I don't know, this game is weird. And you can't even like make lineups to prepare for like Avdia being out, because you could also, on the flip side of it, you could open up a lot of value if, again, Jalen Green or Grayson Allen sits. So hopefully you can tackle on the Discord, because I don't think we'll get it before we finish the live stream.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the top plays here, though, I'm with you. Drew Holiday, Clingan, I think they both look better, like you mentioned, if Denny misses here.
All right, so let's go ahead and do a first look build here on DraftKings. I'm going to refresh the data just to get a quick peek at Washington.
Let's do it.
And then we'll do a first look build. So it still has Tristan in there, actually, which is interesting there. And then Champagne as well. So I think we can just, do you want to get to Gil?
Is he power forward eligible? I didn't even look.
He is not, which is annoying on DraftKings. Yeah.
Okay, let's get Cat Towns in there. I know for sure we both want to play him. Very good spot for Cat. And then for the other center spot, I think it comes down to Gil versus Barry. I'm not, it's like Gene from Minnesota.
Yeah. Dude, I got to practice that more. Berger. There you go. Yes. This is crazy though. I just like looking at his game log, like, okay, he got 16 minutes, 17.5. Love that. 23 minutes, 28 points, 30 minutes, 24. And obviously if Reed sits, he becomes much better. Yeah, we'll play him.
And then let's look to the the Washington game. Do you like Williams? Well, I guess both Williams, Alondas and Grant Williams, either of those?
Yeah, I think we can play both of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I like both those guys a lot.
I will say though, with Williams, Alondas Williams being chalk and Cooper not getting all too much steam, I think that's just a good natural pivot. I mean, I like Alondas much more, and obviously the data does as well. But I mean, Washington's doing weird things. It wouldn't be surprising to see Cooper maybe get. I mean, it's projected to get the same amount of minutes right now, so I just think it's a natural good pivot.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a perfectly good pivot there.
All right, so we'll zoom out from Washington and just top DK value right now is Grant Williams. Vukovic, that's gonna update still. We got Reed. All right, are we just playing it as he's gonna sit or be active? What are we doing here?
So late day downgrade. I think it's a more likely chance he does sit, but
Okay.
the same time, if he does play, he's a smash play. So I don't know. What do you want to do there with the lineup? Do you want him to just plug him in or?
No, I think because we already have Berger in there, we just get away from Reed,
Okay.
and just because it becomes a better play. And then that would make me want to probably get to Ant-Man even a little bit more so. So are you fine with that?
Love Anthony Edwards. I'm with you. I love it. That's it.
Okay. And is Edwards? Yeah, he's not small forward on DraftKings today, which is annoying. Do you want to put him in the shooting guard spot and just move Williams to the point guard, or does it not matter? Like, is there a point guard that you also really love? Value-wise, obviously you got Boya there.
Yeah, no one I love at point guard. Like, I think there's a couple.
Gillespie, right?
Oh yeah, Gillespie is. Yeah, let's plug him in for now.
Okay, so we'll put him in there. Then we have a decent. I mean, this is kind of where I've been getting weird with the small forward spot, where I have gotten to a decent amount of Brown. I mentioned I've gotten to who is it for Phoenix? The other small forward, Maurice O'Neal a little bit, yeah, as well. So I don't know. Who do you like the most for small forward, just in general tonight, value wise, pay up wise? Is there like a standout play for you?
Small forward's kind of tough. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Miller's fine as a spend up.
Well, here, McDaniels, if we're assuming Reed's out.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. Let's do that. That's a good correlation.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, though. Is there
you're good.
Yeah. Then 9K, which with a forward left.
Doesn't leave us much.
I mean, that leaves us with LeBron or Avdia, and if Avdia sits, obviously that's not great.
What if we went off McDaniels? I know you love him, but let's see if we could plug in with that last 2v2.
Yeah, did you want to get to like Brown or Miller or Oubre or go value more with Washington value? I want this to update to the Washington, but go ahead.
Could we get Brown in there possibly? I wonder if we have enough seller.
Try it. So the 5.4 left over. AO, Koulibaly, Riley. Actually, I'm fine. Kind of fine with that.
Yeah. AO is super low and should be better in tournaments, so I like it.
It's not a bad way to get some Minnesota exposure as well. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I love
it. Better loan. We'll see. I mean, he's gotten a lot of hype for someone that hasn't really played all that many, actual NBA minutes.
Yeah, just we got to figure out how to pronunciate the name, and then other than that, it's good.
Yeah, HP Cards gave me a shout out there. Appreciate it. I'm not ready for like MLB with all their names as well. That's just like another extension. We'll jump on into this the later game here with the FanDuel main slate. And again, we are still waiting on the Kawhi Leonard news, and then also Jalen Suggs being questionable. It's kind of a big piece of news here as well. We'll start with Orlando. And so if Suggs is active, I think that makes everyone less appealing. If Suggs sits, then Bane's more appealing, Black's more appealing, Banchero's much more appealing. So are you attacking this game at all, or I guess this team at all? And if you are, how are you attacking it?
Yeah, so for Orlando here, I think guys like Bane, Paulo, fine to mix into tournaments. I think they're definitely going to be better Suggs misses here. So kind of Suggs dependent here with these guys, but nothing I love here. I guess Paulo would be my favorite. Did you have a different take here?
Yeah, no. I think Anthony Black didn't have the biggest game last game, and he's someone that obviously had very good stretches in there. And if Suggs were to sit, I think it could be worth the risk. But Desmond Bane's been playing better recently, and so I'm kind of fine chasing that as well. And then you don't need to get there, but like if sucks, is Javon Carter had himself a very good game as well. And again, I don't think we need to do that. I think it's a little bit too risky. But if this were an earlier game, I think Orlando would be much more appealing. Just it ends up being a decent matchup against the Clippers, even if it's a lower scoring game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't mind the Carter shot, but I'm with you. It's kind of tougher to pick him over the other guys.
Yeah, and then we'll jump on into the Clippers here as well. So the Clippers are going to be without John Collins, and then we also have Kawhi Leonard questionable, and then obviously it's weird because they're without obviously Zubac and James Harden, who have just obviously traded. So we haven't really gotten that many looks of the rotations or what the potential lineup could be. We're getting a decent amount of chalk here though for the FanDuel main slate. So what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so kind of I think we're kind of both building potential with Kawhi out here. I think Jordan Miller out of all these guys is my favorite. Should benefit a good chunk here without Kawhi. Super cheap. I think his ownership is kind of low to me. So love Jordan Miller. And then Derek Jones as well has been getting good minutes. I would like him as well without Kawhi. And then we have to talk about Benny Mathurin, man. He has been a sensation for them.
Yeah.
Just huge point games. What are your thoughts here with the Clippers?
Well, just going off of that, I'm still very shocked at that trade from the Pacers there. It felt like it just a losing. I don't understand it, why they made that trade. Like, I guess they're just trying to tank and hopefully get a good pick, hopefully get a player that has higher. I don't know. I've always liked Benedict Mathurin. I still don't understand that trade. So I like him, obviously. So I'm perfectly happy to be getting to him and be overweight, especially if Kawhi sits. But the play that I like the Derek Jones shout out. I think he's safe, but I actually like getting to Jordan Miller more if Kawhi were to sit. I was looking at some of the it's tough to say for like with the per 36 data because the different lineups and whatnot, but he actually benefited a bunch with Kawhi, Harden, and Zubac off the court. So, but it's not like you can't say it for certain that he's going to be great. And he's only projected for 23 minutes.
No, I'm with you. I think he's the best play without Kawhi here. He's a younger player too, so they'll run him pretty good minutes as well.
Mm. Do you think these ownerships are a little bit too high though at all? Or are you think they're fair?
I think they're probably correct. Maybe a little bit high if people think Kawhi plays, but I think they have to go up, man, if Kawhi misses. So I think they're pretty fair overall.
Yeah. Let's just give this one more refresh, see if it's catching up on the Washington news just yet, just to see. And then do you have any other thoughts?
No, I think we covered it pretty well. Obviously, the big news is Nas Reed there.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I think we covered this like pretty good.
And Reed's still getting a lot of ownership. He's actually getting a little bit more on FanDuel, which is shocking.
I did want to ask you, Eric, if you're building 20 max, 150 max, if you do think Nas Reed has a good chance of sitting, how would you want to build your exposures for him in your lineups with Nas Reed?
I would actually probably set I don't know, actually. I'm more trying to get to more of Anthony Edwards and then just be over on Berger there.
Okay.
Those are the two I'm trying to get to the most. And then if Reed's active, could easily just pivot to him more so. But it is interesting. We obviously got to Grant Williams because we weren't playing Reed as well. That was part of it. And so I wonder what Grant Williams ownership would become if Reed does end up sitting,
Yeah, I'm with you. That's I think it's just building for the rest of Minnesota for me. Like we mentioned AO, McDaniels.
Do you think McDaniels would become extreme chalk? Like people just mass swap to him because they're at a similar price tag and it doesn't change lineups really?
I think so. Yeah. If people they have to leave that extra 100, right? But I think you definitely can do that. So then maybe that's the play, Eric. Is just leave 100 most of your lineups and pivot to McDaniels.
And then we got to get out of here so you can get in the Discord actually. So, right? Are you in the Discord tonight or?
Yeah, but no worries. If we saw 3 minutes, so we're going to start anyway. So.
Yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, that'll do it for this live stream here, guys. Hopefully we start getting some of that slate breaking news that we are still waiting on. And hopefully we get it before really the early game start. And then I'll let you give your final thoughts here.
Yeah, fun slate. Just kind of build how you think the Nas Reed news is. I think that's the biggest leverage we have left on the slate. Kawhi Leonard on FanDuel. But yeah, wish you guys the best of luck and smash the like button. subscribe.